Hello, my little minion cows. I shall continue to feed thine wheat, and you shall continue to grow offspring for me. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode on Decidedly Vanilla. I'm your host, BJ, and this is episode number 8. Last episode, we were working on getting all these cows ready to go in their little hole over there so we can make some steak out of them, and I think we're pretty much ready to go. That looks like plenty of cows, so in fact, let's go ahead and, if I can, knock these guys out of here, and they should start falling down in there. In fact, if I start doing this, if I stand over here with the wheat for a little bit, these guys are all going to come over here and start falling down that hole. And that's exactly what we need. The rest of it's done. In fact, I'll just let them continue to fight for it, and I'll get out of here for a little bit and show you guys around. So they're all going to start falling down that hole. I'll probably end up having to actually use both of those. I maybe overfilled it slightly. We'll have to see. But as you can also see, I got started on filling out some of this area a little bit. I've been practicing a little bit, thought I'd do a little bit of samples and see how we might want to do the rest of the build out here. And so for this episode, we are going to build the rest of the cow shack over here. Silas's steak hut, is that what we called it? Yeah. Silas's steak hut. And then we have here the veritable vegetable that we're also going to work on. This is my last 22 wheat here I need, and I need to feed these guys lots and lots of wheat. And so what I need is a quick veggie farm without, you know what, I'll probably actually come out here and do a lot of wheat fields as well, but I need something a little bit easier to build. So I'm going to use a design that was more or less done by El Mango. I had done something similar in parallel with his video that he'd put out, and when I saw his, he actually helped me fix a couple of problems I had with mine, and then I ended up compacting one that he had in there. So this might serve a little bit as a tutorial. I'm going to probably go through a fair amount of effort to show you how this is built, because I think it's useful. And then what else am I going to do? So we're going to do this as well, this building. We're going to build it up, and that'll probably be it for this episode. But I also want to show you this. I've been working on my texture pack. I had one out in 1.12 that worked really well, and I got actually quite a few downloads on it, so that was nice. But since 1.13 came out and they redid all the IDs and the things like that, I needed to update it, and I've just been super slow in getting it done. And so this last week, I was going to do a second episode here on DV. I was going to do this one, but I ended up working on the texture pack because I got started on this episode, and some of the textures were driving me a little bit crazy, so I decided to go ahead and fix it. But you can kind of see some other things here. I've got connected textures working again finally. Dnator put out a 1.14 Japa texture connected Windows glass update that you can download through CurseForge, I believe is where I got this. And it's super handy, so I just incorporated that into the pack as well. But then we've also got connected textures between things like sandstone and smoothstone. I've got connected textures between sandstone and this is stripped wood, stripped logs. We've got the leaves over into other things and such and so forth. And then I was showing you this wall over here. The other thing I did, and these are actually new textures. So I took Japa's stone texture, brought it into my texturizer, and then did all my bricks out of it. And then I did the same thing actually with diorite and with andesite. And so now I have this nice blend of a darker gray to a medium gray to a white. And I got this, this was inspired by Germsy's pack. So Mythical Sausage has been doing this on his single player series, and he's used these same textures, or not these same textures, but the same technique of a dark medium gray and light white, or I guess white stone, to build his castle, where he started off on the bottom with the darker, and it gets lighter as it goes up, and it turned out really nicely, and that sort of inspired me to come through and update some of my own textures so that it worked a little bit better. And I think you can see it. You can see some over here as well. Let's see if I can. So you get the sand that kind of blends into the columns, and then you have stone that blends down into it as well, and it just looks pretty sharp when you get these connected textures working. It also really helps on the ground plane as well. This is my grass path block, and I've never liked it being down a block, so I just brought it up a block so it was level with everything else, and I think that looks a lot better too. Had to fix some of the side textures. Oh, and Cirque, in one of his streams that he was working on, he was complaining about not having a water source up here, just like I did in the last episode, and I don't think he even saw the episode where I had mentioned I needed to do something like that, so he was on stream and I did that while he was standing there, just so I had a source for the pond and stuff like that. It made a lot of sense. So the sun's about ready to go down, so let's wait until it goes down, and then we're going to come over here and get started on the Veritable Vegetables redstone, and we'll be back in just a sec. Alright, I've got all the stuff together, so let's talk really quick about how this is going to work, and then we can get into the build part of it. So the idea is that I'll be able to come into the Veritable Vegetable here, check out the cool decor. Pretty happy with the way this is going to turn out. I think, I'm not quite certain about the oak seats, but we'll deal with that in a second. But anyway, come in, I'll be able to open this trapdoor. There will be a switch right there that I flick on that'll start the machine. And then I'll come over here and be able to spam wheat seed, carrots, potatoes, and even beetroot will grow in here. I'll explain why it's not the most efficient to do that in 1 second here. So let's come down here into the lower area. So where's that? It's right there. So we can actually even go ahead and put a block here. And that's where this stone, or where this switch is going to go right on top of that. So I'll be able to turn it off and on, and that's kind of nice too, that when I turn it off, it actually closes that as well. That's just purely coincidental. And let's get started up in here really quick. So the idea behind this was very similar to what Ethos was, where you had dispensers on a couple of sides, and then what you'd be able to do is actually have a block above this that would create a dark spot. Let's go ahead and, where's my hoe? There it is. Do that really quick. I still have to put water block down there. But you'd be able to have this, and you'd have a cover over it. See, I already did it. And that dark spot would cause the vegetables and things to pop off that. But you have enough time that if you place something, you could still bone meal it, and it would grow before it popped off. Well, with the changes in 1.12 and 1.13, you can't do that anymore. You can't even plant in a dark spot. So the idea is that you need to have a slab or something over it that when you plant it, that slab moves over, creates the dark spot, and then goes back, and then you can plant again because it's open to the air. That makes it a lot easier and functional. So the first thing I need to do is actually, we need a water source right here. So with the, also with the changes to 1.12 and 1.13, we have the ability to waterlog that, and that is good enough for that to stay farmland, which is really handy. Let's get that dispenser back. Oops. That's not where I wanted the dispenser. So you could do a fourth dispenser here. And I do have a working version of this. It's a little bit bigger, but it's just not worth the additional cost to do that for one beetroot that I'm just not even going to use that often. So to keep it compact, I decided to go ahead and eliminate that one and just make it a little bit easier to use. So now we're going to have that over here. Let's actually, I'm going to take this out for a second, because I think right there is where I'm going to need... Right there? Yeah, not down here. Let's get rid of this guy. So this is going to lift the observer into place. You're going to have two observers, one that's going to be facing that direction. Yep. This might be a little hard to get over to. In fact, I'm going to have to remove this one. This is a little cramped. Normally, I wouldn't have to worry about this, but then I'll have one going that direction. What will happen is when I turn this on, it pushes this what are these things called? Piston, and it pushes the observer blocks so they're up in line. And this particular setup allows it to be super fast. If you're pushing observer into an observer, the pulse speed that comes out of that is as fast as I think you can actually get in the game. And then we're going to have, let's see, when do I want to do this on? I think we're going to actually have this one right here, because that'll push up into there. That'll pulse into here, which will push this back and forth that direction. That should work. And I believe I'm going to need redstone back in this corner, so I'll put it there now. Redstone there. And then we just put a dispenser there. I'll need that block. So the pulse will go into this block, which will turn on the redstone that's down there. That'll activate both of these. That'll also push this, which will make this a lot easier. So this is where the slab... Do I have the slab on me? So this one will work just fine. Do I want to do that yet? I can. Let's go ahead and do this here and do that there. So this is the slab that's going to go back and forth. And so I'm standing up here with this open. I'll be able to be, I can reach this far down to plant the wheat, but I could also do it from right here. So if I plant the wheat right there, and then this slides back over into here, and that's what creates the dark spot that pops it off. And because we have farmland there, I'll be able to pick it up with a hopper down below. And then this will push it back. And so these just go back and forth really fast like that. Don't get too dizzy. And that will work there. And then I need this here, here, and there. So right now with that redstone back between these two dispensers, that's activating both of these. We need to find an activator for this. Actually, that's not going to work right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring a signal from this one, because let's see, when I push that observer up into here, these things are got signals going out both sides. It's going to go into this block. And so what I want to do, even though you see this one here that's going to be pushed up so it won't work, is pick it up with this. Should work to there. And then I need another observer that'll be reading this signal and put it into here. So there we go. Yep. So this will activate this signal. This will read it, and that will pulse into here, which will activate all three of these dispensers at the same time with bone meal. And believe it or not, that is actually it. That's done. Go ahead and close this off so we don't get veggies popping out the side. Now we need to get a hopper chain to be picking this guy up. Can I get down into here? I just got rid of that, so I need to get rid of this one right here. There we go. This should work. We'll leave that. That should be okay. And we needed a hopper below this. This is going fast enough. I might come back and retrofit this later with a hopper minecart. But for now, I think I'm going to be able to come into there. I might not be able to get out of here. There we go. They'll come down. They'll give us the hopper chain. Can I get out? Probably not. All right, we can do that. We can always take that other one out. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to have a chest or something in here that's going to go up into. I haven't decided yet. But for right now, this is good enough. Do I have a chest on me? I can. I'll just go ahead and get rid of this for a second. And have a chest here just so we have someplace to collect it for right now. And then I'll clean it up with something a little bit later. But this should be functional now. All I need to do is get my redstone over to... Oh, not there. Let's go down one. I need it below here, so I can do it right into that block, and that'll activate that piston. So I'll put a couple of these guys here. Now this is going to be loud. I'll probably turn it down in post, but... Yep, that's working. That's how fast it goes. Alright, let's get some, let's see if we've got any bone meal. Not much, just enough to test it out, and I'll come back and fill it later, because I'm going to have also a hopper into here, and a hopper into all these, and put chests on them, so it's a little bit easier to fill them with more. But let's do this for right now. Let's see, I've got 3, so we'll go 1, 2, oops. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That should be plenty. So we'll put 31 into each one. Put 31 in there. And then over to this side. 31 into there. There we go. All right. So that should be functional now. Let's see. I needed... Let's take wheat seed out. I should be able to come over here, turn it on. There it goes. We'll just go through these seeds really quick and see that it works. All right. That's all of them. Turn it off. Now we can go downstairs and see how many we got. So that was, what was that? 31 seeds, I think? I should have counted that before I did it. And look at that. We've got a bunch of it coming in. This is the advantage of actually having a hopper minecart down there, is it's picking that stuff up a lot faster. It's possible that other hopper was overwhelmed a little bit. So we may retrofit that in a little bit, but yep, that's working. So now it's fully functional. I can get my hoppers in here and get a bunch of chests loaded up and get this thing fully functional. And then we can get started. Let's get down in here on this thing here next. So you know those times when you just feel like things aren't going your way? No, this isn't a commercial. This is me having a really bad day at Minecraft. You know, we all have them. It can be a little bit frustrating, but this is my frustrating day today. I really want to get this video out for tomorrow. It's one of my goals is to keep on my at least weekly schedule and to start getting out 2 a week. And like I said last week, I didn't get 2 out because I was working on texture packs, but this week it's my goal. And so I have one last bit to film for this video, and that was, of course, doing the time-lapse of this guy. And I started a time-lapse, didn't like the roof, tore it down, started another one, didn't like the roof, tore it down, did it 3 times, and then I started getting frustrated with the building and started changing the building around. And so all my time-lapses and recording for the last several hours is pretty much useless. So I went ahead and put the recorder away for a little while and just worked on fixing some of the issues that I was having problems with. And some of the things that I fixed were, went ahead and brought that stone material, the sandstone, up into the rest of the building. That actually really started to help it quite a bit. I think the same thing is going to happen here. I think these are just going to be sandstone buildings with a little bit of stone accent here and there, but for the most part, it's going to be sandstone and spruce, just like the other ones around here, which is fine. It fits in with the theme, and I still think the whole idea of these buildings be a little bit more wealthy, more sandstone, a little more expensive, a little bit less wood. These are going to be more wood. It's more expensive material, or the sandstones are more expensive material. Wood's cheaper, easy to get, and so I still think it's going to fit into the overall theme. And I don't know that anybody would really get that anyway, so I don't feel too terribly bad about it. I'm still a little bit frustrated with these roofs being more or less the exact same height. The only advantage is one's kind of pops out a little bit more and has a little bit deeper roof on it. And it's going to look a lot different when I get this little area built in over here, which I can go show you now. Actually, let's go take a look. And I can show you some of the stuff that I've been working on and have modified to try and get this back into some sort of shape to help me get this video completed and out the door in a way that makes me feel like it's still pretty good. So one of the things I did was, let's come back out of here again. Like I said, I brought sandstone all the way up. I went ahead and closed this entrance in. It was kind of bugging me to having 2 entrances. And when I put all this vegetation around it, I actually ended up liking the stone back there a little bit more. Instead of changing it out, I decided not to leave it in there. It kind of makes this a little bit different and unique kind of in the materiality of this building. And you come inside, and I think I'm going to do something with this. There's probably a little bit too much on the ground plane, but I like it back behind, and I like this wall coming all the way through the build being stone like that. So I'm probably going to keep that and probably change this one out to sandstone, and then make a couple of other things so that this feels like it's unique and special. The other thing is it's starting to feel like a little bit like a pub. You know, we kind of have this little walkway that's coming upstairs over here. It's a little bit more quaint. I think we can put a couple of things in here that make it feel a little bit more pubby. So maybe it's the steak and grill or something like that, or grill and bar, or I don't know, something where you can still come in and get a steak, maybe get a pint. That could be fun. We'll do something with that. And then up here, this is starting to take a little bit better shape as well. Started getting this, the height of this is going to be kind of cool. I'm going to leave this open all the way up, so this is kind of a real neat spot. The only thing that may prevent me from then doing that is that this is meant to be a little bit less expensive, so it may make sense to close this off and then have another apartment or something upstairs that feels a little bit more tight. I'm not quite sure yet. And then this is going to be a flat roof up there. That's going to work out just fine. And then we're going to be able to complete this roof over here with a couple of different levels up here as well above the Veritable Vegetarian Veritable Vegetable. Man, this day. What should we do together to finish this episode out? How about we work a little bit on the roof and try and get at least one side done over here together so we can get a good look at what this building is going to look like before we finish it for the day. And then I'll probably finish it off camera, even though I really would like to do it on camera. I think it's maybe just accept the fact that it's going to be frustrating and finish out at least this one, and maybe that'll lead us into doing something for the other one. The other thing I think I'm going to do is we have a second build here in Spawn that I just laid out over there. And maybe if we have time, we'll go talk about it. If not, I'll just tell you what it is right now, just in case. It is moving the iron farm closer to, well, it's closer to where I am now, but really it's to get it out of the middle of the rest of Spawn Town and to do something interesting with it. And so I have an idea of how I'm going to build that, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. And I feel pretty good in that I needed a second build over in here, or I was just going to have to go back and start building back over at my spawn, or at my base again. And I feel like I really wanted to stay over here for a while, so I think that's what we're going to do. And then, let's see, I think this one I'm going to go ahead, knock that one down. I think I had this one coming out. Let's take this down right here, put that there. That's going to be gone, so we can take that out, take that one out. But yeah, I've got an interesting plan for that, and that way we'll have multiple builds here to work on and not be having to focus on the same thing all the time. And plus, it might be fun to do something different with a iron farm than you typically see. So I've got an idea. Well, we'll see how it shakes out, so to speak. All right, we've got some stairs here. Let's see, do I want to take this down? I do. I think let's get, all right, I don't know if I can get the right angle on here. No, it's not gonna do it. See, this is how my whole day is gone. I just can't quite get it to work the way I want it to, and of course, then I'm just far enough down. I can't get back up there, so let's try, there we go, that'll work. Down to here, we got some spruce. Let's go here. Look at this, the sun's already going down. This sun, I swear, does not last very long. Let's see, that is working there. Let's get up here. So we got spruce there, spruce there. We got to put some here. I think I also want to make sure that I've got that one down there. Nope, that's not where I want that. I've got the stair down there. Of course, I drop it. There we go, that's better. Do I want that to be a stair? If I do make that a stair, it's going to bend funny around that corner, which might be okay. Let's try it. Can I get it? Oh, come on. This whole day is just going like this, man. There we go. We got that. Look at that. That's coming down there. You know what we could do is we could take every other one of these and do it like that. That way it's kind of continuing the same theme. We've got that up there. Do we want to do that on every one of them? Yeah, maybe. Let's go ahead and try it. If I could just do it correctly, that would make my life so much better. There we go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and take that one out, and there we go. So, this is going to be the same all the way down. Let's go ahead and bring this over here. I might turn that around potentially. We shall see. So that would be every other one like this. We got a stair in between. I do like the way that this roof usually looks. It's so much nicer than having, especially if you're going to use the same color, to vary between stairs and full blocks. It just adds a little bit, just enough character that it doesn't make, oh, I probably want to do that as a stair. It doesn't make it too repetitive, like it does if you typically use just the same block on every one. So if we did that there. Oh wait, actually what we need to do, we should bring this the rest of the way out. That's what we need to do. Let's go. Oh goodness. Oh, she's right there. She tried to hit me from all the way down there. Sorry, witch. I think she was trying to throw a potion all the way up here. That's hilarious. She's got a good arm if she can do that. Okay, let's get up here. And then I think to do... I'm not going to risk it. Let's just do this for now. I can't remember if I needed to put a stair underneath that or not, so we'll put this here. Doot, doot. I think it needs to be... So let's get this guy. Yep, because there needs to be a stair right here. And then these two. And then... do I have any of those left? I don't. That's okay. We'll do this. And then that. Okay, this needs to be a stair right here. Oh, man. There we go. Stair there. Stair there. Stair there. Stair. Stay there. Stair. And we got these guys to finish them off. Right there. And right there. There we go. Okay. Let's jump down here. And I still need to come back through here and get some stairs underneath. So this is one of the interesting things that the reason I did this is it creates this really wide overhang over this little recess inside the building. And that was one of the things I was kind of excited about, is having this massive wide overhang on one side. And the same thing is essentially going to happen over here. I don't know if I showed you this or not, but we have this little recess back in here that's going into the veritable vegetable, and that's going to create this interesting overlook right here. So that means we basically on both sides of the building, the major part of the building, have some similarities. So there's it's like an asymmetrical symmetrical, where there's some elements that are symmetrical, but they're very differently done, and that makes for a little more interesting building, I think. So, this is not turning out as bad as it felt like it was earlier today, but I think just in terms of length for this episode, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there. And between episodes, I'm going to go ahead and probably at least finish this building off and that metal one in the middle. And if I feel really good about how this one turned out, we'll finish this one together before we get started over on the iron farm, which I do think I would like to start on next episode. At least start laying it out and talking about some of the interesting features behind it. So anyway, there you all go. I really appreciate it. We will see you guys in the next episode. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and maybe even subscribe if you haven't already. We have big plans for this series for DV, and I'm looking forward to keeping it going 2 times a week, if at all possible. I do have some plans maybe for a solo series or even another multiplayer series, possibly. We'll have to see how that goes. I'm not quite sure yet, but at the very least, we will probably have a second series starting up relatively soon. Also, keep an eye out this week for the DaVinci Resolve Let's Play how-to guide. I'm really excited to show you guys, people who are creators and like doing Let's Plays and things like that, a way to use some other software, especially if it's free or much less expensive than Premiere Pro, and to give you guys an idea of how easy it is, and for people who are already using it, some ideas on how to be a little bit more efficient, stuff like that. So there you go. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. We will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.